We walked straight into the Robesonian. I was the first one to go in. And there was a receptionist sitting in behind the counter. And I didn't take out my gun at that time. And she says, "What can I do for you?" I says, "Well, we're here to occupy this building. We want the world to hear what's going on in Robeson County." And so I took off my coat, and she seen the shotgun. And I just took the shotgun off my shoulder, and I pointed it straight up in the air. I never pointed it at her or anyone. Eddie Hatchett was coming in behind me. He changed the entrance door in behind us. And that's when we announced ourselves as to what was going on.
I was in the composition room, and I'll never forget a woman named, I think her name was Rita Jacobs. She comes back, and she says, "There's two guys up front with shotguns."
We had no intentions of hurting anyone inside there. We had made that pact that we would not hurt anybody who was being held hostage. But if a law enforcement come in, we were going to be prepared to take somebody, because we knew if they came in, they were going to take us. So,
you know, I know Timmy's fond of saying that they were never going to hurt anybody, and I'm willing to accept that. But the problem is when you have guns and you tell people that they're bomb strapped to the door, and you have trigger-happy police officers out there, then, you know, it's a potentially explosive situation.
Here in the county, people were getting killed by the white sheriff department, left and right. So Timothy got really concerned and just tired of seeing that. So when Timothy took over the Robesonian, that was to protest and fighting for our rights.
So we came up with occupying the Robesonian because, you know, historically the Robesonian had not been fair in reporting the corruption in Robeson County. And what other way to capture the attention of the world than to take over the media? We demanded an investigation into the county's corruption. We're demanding an investigation into the court system. We're demanding an investigation into corruption overall in the county. We raised issues affecting everyone. The governor had agreed to meet our demands, and it was just a matter of that transitioning where we told them we would only turn ourselves into the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations. We were asked to throw our guns out, our weapons out, which we weren't afraid to do because at that point in time, we knew that the whole world knew what was going on, and no matter what happened to us, we knew that we had done what we had set out to do, and there was no doubt that there was going to be change and improvement coming to Robeson County.
I mean, the community was not happy. I mean, I'm sure that Timmy and Eddie, you know, had some cheerleaders. I'm sure of that. Okay, and certainly initially. But if you're gonna go into a newspaper with shotguns and hold people hostage for 10 hours, that needs to be, you know, only if you can produce some goods, and they didn't do that.
Well, we feel like this. The federal government, they did a sorry job. You know, they let people know that they were coming. They used a lot of people from inside the county to investigate themselves, basically. And so the idea that they did a overall investigation, even the local community people feel like that was not true.
You know, I don't care what your intentions are. If you walk into a building and huddle people up and you're brandishing shotguns, you're terrorizing those people. It makes absolutely zero difference their claims or whether their allegation was true or not. You can't do that. How the hell can a jury come to the conclusion that that didn't happen?
So I was never convicted of any crime. I took a plea bargain on the state level. But on the federal level, I was found completely not guilty. Even on the gun charges, I was found not guilty. putting me in prison, it done nothing, you know, to change my mind, change my spirit. Because throughout history, Geronimo was in prison. You know, many spiritual leaders and tribal leaders have been imprisoned. That's just the part. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned. So, you know, you have to be stronger than that. You know, that's just a way to give me time to recuperate, and that's what I did. I became better educated. I became more knowledgeable. I used that time wisely. You know, it's just a matter of how you do it, you know. I mean, you know, you got people who go into that kind of system and they get lost in that system, but you got to learn to use that system against the people that put you there.